Wow. Jake, 10 grand to eat it. Oh my god!
You know that one guy where he brings animals? Oh my gosh.
Here with Jack, and Jack's my animal guy.
Hey guys, I'm here with Jay, and Jay brought his big snake.
I called Brian, Brian's our animal guy.
I'm always on Craigslist looking for new animals.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sid, and in today's video I am going to be talking about David Dobrik. If you don't know who he is a hugely popular YouTuber known for his fast-paced vlogs, and the use of animals were a staple for those videos. He has been using animals as a way to get reactions out of people, or as props for whatever skit he has planned for his vlog that day. He would either rent, borrow, or outright buy a range of animals to use. There were turtles, bunnies, a skunk, rats, caterpillars, a pony, puppies, and much more.
Now we're actually getting 2 chickens. This is your new home for the rest of your lives. So for the next 6 hours, have fun. Go put them in the pool. No, now, what? For a bath. Torturing. For a bath.
Megan ended up taking the chickens to the shelter, so we're good, right?
All right, we just got the pig. He's in the back over here chilling.
What a sad home. Like, what a sad home this is.
Dude, guys, we ended up giving him back, or at least to a new loving family where they're not going to murder him or eat him or whatever they do with pigs.
And I don't think he's abusive to animals, or even realizes what he's doing is wrong. He's just very careless when it comes to anything to do with animals in his videos, which isn't much of a surprise because he's also pretty careless with his friends' lives. He took a 2-year break from YouTube videos because he almost killed his friend with an excavator, but he has recently returned to making YouTube videos. So now that he has returned, I thought it would be a good time to revisit his antics around animals. But first I want to thank today's sponsor, Manscaped.com. I get messages and comments all of the time asking what kind of razor I use to do my facial hair. And the Manscaped Beard and Balls bundle featuring the Lawn Mower 5.0 Ultra and the Beard Hedger is the exact combo of items I would recommend. The Lawn Mower 5.0 Ultra is super handy because it has 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads and also 3 adjustable comb options. You can either use the standard blade, or if you want a completely smooth finish, you can swap it out for the foil blade. The updated trimmer blade also features longer, wider, and rounded teeth that cut through hair with ease. And the foil blade gently glides over your skin to ensure that even the finest hairs are shaved. This bundle also comes with the Beard Hedger, which is exactly what you need to sculpt your facial hair. It can handle a full beard or just a little bit of stubble because it has 20 different length options. On top of that, it has 60 minutes of runtime, comes with a travel bag, and is waterproof, as well as the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, so you can shave in the shower or over the sink and never have to worry about water damage. So check out the Manscaped Beard and Balls bundle featuring the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra and the Beard Hedger and save. Get 20% off plus free international shipping when you use code SID at manscaped.com. Anyway, so back to the video. I firstly want to bring up a bunny that David bought in 2016 to appear for just a couple of seconds in a magic trick bit for a video. The other person involved in that bit was David's close friend and roommate, Alex. But during the process of this little skit, Alex got a new best friend because he fell in love with the bunny involved. He decided to keep her and he named her Bailey. She lived with him and David, which gave David easy access to use her for other videos.
So I'm gonna sneak him in, I'm gonna have him go around the floor, and we're gonna scare her. I like this idea.
What? What? Can I hold it? Does it bite? Whose is
this?
When David wasn't using her for something, she stayed in her cage but was sometimes allowed to free range the apartment as well. Things started to change when in 2017, David bought a house and assigned a room for Alex to live in.
Inside here we have the rooms for someone who's living with me. Alex Ertz's room!
David previously lived with Bailey and had no issues with her then, or when making a sponsored Instagram story revolving around her.
First thing Bailey and I noticed is it's super portable, so you can literally put it in your pocket and take it wherever your bunny needs to go.
But David was only going to allow Alex to move into that room under one condition. Bailey couldn't come with him.
I thought Alex had a room at David's. He did, but he didn't move in because he wasn't allowed to bring Bailey. His bunny, which is so pure. He'd rather live in an apartment on Hollywood Boulevard with Dom and all his nonsense just so he could keep his bunny.
Around a year later, Alex got a girlfriend and he moved in with her, where Bailey was fully embraced. Alex also later posted a video to Bailey's TikTok account, poking fun at David's apparent dislike of her.
According to you, I'm stupid, I'm useless.
In 2021, Bailey unfortunately passed away, but for the most part, she had a pretty good life, especially for an animal David didn't put much value in. Before Alex took ownership of Bailey, David had some ideas for what he was originally going to do with her once she served a purpose in his video.
Let me give you some context. So this is when Alex and I bought a bunny for a bit that we were doing, and we're gonna return the bunny or give it to a friend or something when we were done with her.
So yeah, he bought Bailey on a whim and had no concrete plan for what was going to happen to Bailey after he finished filming the video. So who knows what would have happened to her if Alex didn't step in. An animal that we didn't get to see anyone step in for and help was a fish David bought for a prank, where he got Gabby Hanna to take it to a fast food store and ask her cup to be refilled with the fish in it.
No ice is fine.
What'd she say?
She's like, there's a fish in there.
You were so casual about it. Do you normally find fish in there? She's like, there's just a fish in there.
She literally didn't even react.
And who knows what happened to that fish after they finished filming. But despite David treating that fish like it didn't matter, one of David's friends, Vardon, was keeping a better fish in some cooking dishware. So David bought an aquarium for it.
So today we're surprising Vardon and his fish Blue with a brand new aquarium.
Alright guys, it's showtime.
Oh my god, he's so happy!
But when David got the same kind of fish, he kept it in similar conditions, instead of gifting himself a new tank. And the fish community understandably did not like David's setup.
He's got a $2.5 million house, but he can only afford a tiny little bowl.
When we go in the kitchen, we see a lovely little betta bowl. Dun dun dun.
It seems like he may have listened to some of that because he has been wanting to put a massive aquarium in his house, and the following year in 2020 he talked about how he didn't want to get in trouble for not knowing how to maintain things.
I just don't want to get in trouble for having some exotic fish where people are like, that's not maintained properly. Like,
Right. Yeah.
And the better fish in a bowl was actually a gift from some people.
Charlotte, Kaya, Kendall, and Harry came by, and they gave me this fish.
So he knows now just as well as anyone that giving an animal as a gift is a bad idea. But before that, he did his fair share of gifting animals to people that didn't end well. One of David's first animal giftings was giving a sugar glider to his friend Gabby. Gabby had offhandedly expressed how she wanted one at some point, but didn't make any steps to try and acquire one herself or have any sort of setup for one. She just thought they were cute. But David wanted to surprise her with one, so he found one online and bought it.
do you like him? Oh, he got up on you.
Even though he was enjoyable in the moment, sugar gliders come with a lot of requirements. They have a very specific diet and need lots of enrichment and attention.
The woman that sold me the glider gave me all this. Glider needs attention every day or we'll become depressed.
Not only is that sort of animal not compatible with Gabby's lifestyle, but they were also illegal to own as pets in California, the state they lived in. So a couple of days after receiving the sugar glider, Gabby rehomed it. The animal content creator Tyler Ruggie made a video pointing out everything wrong with David giving Gabby a sugar glider.
Sugar gliders need to live in pairs at least because they're very social, so if they don't have a friend, then they can literally become depressed and die. Sugar gliders, the biggest issue I had with this, are illegal in California. It's just so irresponsible to get a pet that is illegal, because if anything happens, if anyone finds out, which, you know, they filmed it and posted it on the internet for millions of people to see, someone could easily call animal control and get the sugar glider confiscated. Also, if it's illegal and it has any health issues, you can't take it to the vet to get treated because it's a legal animal. They aren't going to treat it. So, yeah, there's a lot of issues with owning illegal animals, with buying animals on impulse, and surprising people with pets.
Gabby saw that video and then made a video on her channel addressing the sugar glider situation.
David didn't know that sugar gliders were illegal, and he also didn't know how difficult they were to care for. So he saw one on Craigslist and he was just like, oh, I'm gonna get it for her as a gift. So he got the sugar glider, not knowing really much about it. In his mind, it's just, you know, the same as getting like a kitten off of Craigslist. You can't commit to an animal like a sugar glider unless you're ready to have it for 15 years. So we ended up taking it to a sanctuary where it could be with other creatures of its kind and live its best life.
Another animal David gave to someone was a dog, to his friend Jason Nash. And Jason was super happy to receive this gift, so much so that he cried. But not long after receiving the puppy he named Henry, he started making joking comments about how difficult he was to look after.
And they were really, dirty. You got my human almost shorts dirty. This dog is a terror. He's crazy.
And then Henry vanished. But before Henry came into the picture, Jason and David surprised Jason's then girlfriend Trisha Paytas with a puppy. Like Gabby and Jason, she had expressed she had wanted a dog in the past.
Sure, if you want to go buy a dog.
Okay, let's go get a dog.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but we gotta share it.
No.
Jason, that is the point of getting a dog together. Wow, I'm just gonna go get a dog by myself? I don't even know how to own a dog.
You're not gonna trap me with some dog from Petco.
But as soon as Trisha got the dog, she knew it wasn't going to be the right fit for her. Trisha then gave the puppy to her mum to look after. And people did point out that you shouldn't surprise somebody with an animal. And so Trisha defended Jason and David, saying that her and her mother have wanted a dog for ages.
First of all, so many people were like, don't surprise people with an animal. I have been saying, my mom's been saying for so long that we wanted a Pomeranian. It wasn't like he just surprised us for a video and I was like, here's a puppy, take care of it.
But when her and Jason broke up and David stopped being friends with her, she changed her tune. She posted a TikTok saying 2 vloggers gave her a puppy for a video and then left her with all of the responsibility. Trisha's mum also took to her own YouTube channel to talk about it.
But you don't know what the end product is, you know? Giving that puppy away was stupid. As a gift for a video, for views and money. And you know she could never care for an animal, and yet you guys are bringing her a puppy for a video? Unbelievable.
And it turns out that the dog that they named Mukbang was also sick at the time, which Trisha's mum documented the process of treating on her YouTube channel.
And then found out he had parasites.
Trisha also took to her Instagram to compare David to Luca Magnotta, who was a guy who unalived cats. David never did anything that extreme, but he did do a lot of questionable stuff when it came to animals, especially when it came to how he sourced the animals that appeared in his videos and the kinds of places he supported. David has promoted cruel animal facilities in his videos. In one vlog, he visited a zoo where he and his friends played around with a chimp. There was some concern raised about David doing this on Reddit, and someone replied saying that it could be an animal sanctuary and we don't know all the details. The zoo David and his friend group visited was the Zoological Wildlife Foundation, owned by Mario Tabrui. He was in the documentary Tiger King and imprisoned for racketeering and narcotic-related issues, and it was revealed during his case he assisted in the dismemberment and burning of a DEA agent. He was sentenced to 100 years in prison, but only served 12 because he became an informant for the government. The chimp in David's vlogs is named Limbani and has been housed solitary his entire life. He has been deprived of everything a chimp needs to thrive in order to participate in these photo op and handling experiences. In September 2024, the animal rights group PETA offered a $10,000 reward to anyone who could provide evidence that resulted in the confiscation of Limbani by law enforcement authorities. So instead of trying to fight and hide from PETA, 2 months later, Limbani was voluntarily sent to a legitimate sanctuary and will never be used in the way David wanted to use him for a video. Obviously, David is far from the root of that issue and has nothing to do with how Limbani was being kept. David just capitalized off of the exploitative situation that Limbani was already living in. And that in and of itself is an issue, especially when it's being broadcast to tens of millions of followers. And Limbani wasn't the first or the last animal in a situation like that used in a David vlog. David had an agreement with the reptile YouTuber Brian Barczyk to find David animals to use in videos.
Of course, my partner in crime here.
Also, I just want to acknowledge that Brian has passed away since all of this has happened. This video isn't meant to speak ill of Brian, but rather address the broader issues surrounding the use of animals in videos like David's and Brian's role in it. This is about learning from the past and advocating for better treatment of animals moving forward. So while David lives in LA, his family lives in Illinois. So whenever David would visit his family, Brian would make the trip from Michigan to see him. Brian usually wouldn't bring any of his own animals, but would act as a buffer between David and exotic animal owners, breeders, and exhibitors. In 2018, David was visiting where his family lived, and at the time there was an all-animal expo going on that had bear cub petting.
I've always wanted to mess with bears, and again, I've played with lions and tigers and elephants and you name it, but this is the first time I've ever held a little bear and a grizzly bear on top of that.
Bear cubs being at this expo in particular was an almost yearly occurrence. The cubs were being bred and then removed from their mothers so that they could be used for things like that. At the expo, there would be multiple cubs rotated out as one became hungry or tired. Brian knew the guy running the expo, so he met up with David there to handle some cubs for a video. Brian also arranged for the same guy to bring a kangaroo joey into a hotel where David's friend group were staying on tour.
So guys, what the deal is you have to kind of smuggle things like this kangaroo into hotels. You can't do it, so Scott's just kind of hiding it in his coat.
And he also made another 5-hour drive to connect David to the owner of an alligator, who was supposedly friendly enough for his friends to ride on.
I called Brian's our animal guy, who was going to connect us with the alligator guy, and he was really nice. He was like, he was trained like a dog. So like, he loves giving people rides. So the second you sit on him, he'll walk around the room. A couple people in my comments were like, he's drugged up. He's not drugged up. He just literally thinks he's a dog.
Brian also made a flight to LA to do some stuff with David David as well. He borrowed a few animals from the reptile store, JTK Reptiles, for David to use in one of his videos. He used an alligator, a monitor lizard, and a bunch of superworms. The superworms were dumped on some of David's friends, and the monitor lizard and the alligator were used to scare them. The alligator was even forced onto one of David's friends, Carly, which it clearly did not like. It kept trying to move away and had its mouth open, which is an indicator of stress. But when Brian wasn't able to go to LA, David enlisted the help of Jay Brewer, the owner of Prehistoric Pets. David uses Jay's reptiles to scare people in videos. In one video, he even attempted to get several snakes to bite Jason on camera, and they do eventually get a snake to bite him.
His whole reason why he's biting is fear. He's scared that you're gonna do something. Oh my! Get it off, David! David, get it off me! David!
Not only does David scare animals, but he also uses animals to scare his friends. The biggest issue around that is with the invertebrates he used. He bought some scorpions to use in a prank where he pretends to give his friends some sort of foot massage, but actually puts scorpions around their feet. It also appears as if he gets one of his friends to fling one of the scorpions off himself. None of David's friends took ownership of these scorpions in the way that Alex did for Bailey, so it's possible they got returned or something else was done with them, but we don't know. David also borrowed a tarantula from someone he knew to scare his friends with it, and this poor tarantula gets thrown around and knocked about so much. I don't blame the victims of these pranks for acting that way at all. All of the blame should be put on David. And it's surprising that someone would let him use their tarantula in that way, because surely they would have known how dangerous it is for the tarantula.
So tarantulas are very fragile to falls and being dropped. That's why a lot of the times people don't recommend handling tarantulas, because if they fall a large distance or they hit something with a lot of force, they can just die like that. Like their abdomen can crack open and they can die. They're super sensitive to large falls.
So yeah, these are not situations that animals, big or small, should be put in. And like I said at the start of the video, I don't think David is some animal abuser. I just don't think he values the lives of living creatures. He's careless with them, stresses them out, and is incredibly invasive with them. And he's also supported some pretty unethical methods wild animals come to be handled. Animals just don't need to be used in content in these ways. David did an interview with E.T. where he was shown a couple of vlogs he did that involved animals, and he says that he shouldn't have done those.
I feel bad about this too. These are all videos where I'm like, I shouldn't have done it.
So I suppose that's a start, but I guess we'll wait and see what's to come if he continues to post on YouTube. But yeah, that is pretty much everything for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and let's take a moment of silence for all of the animals that have suffered for David's content. And I will see you in my next video.